Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the TWitWoW weekly recap. Yes, we've changed the name, we've got a new background. So, it just seems more reflective of what we actually talk about now because it's not just wrestling. It's also current events and pop culture, things that we're consuming. So, just to begin with the wrestling, really haven't watched much. I don't even know if I really watched anything this week. I did like 30 minutes ago read the results of Saturday night's main event. We know Jade Cargill's the new champion, maybe even worse than the old champion. I don't know really anymore. I know she's heel now,
In the
seemingly, so maybe
ring, probably worse, but in every other way, an improvement.
that is true. So maybe overall it'll be a better title reign. Who knows? I personally don't even really care anymore. So there you go. Good luck to Jade Cargill. CM Punk has regained the world title because old dogs can still win championships or
When you
something.
say regained, has he held it since? Actually, no. When's the last time he held the title?
Remember, he beat Gunther for it, I think, at like SummerSlam, and then he got cashed in on by Seth Rollins. So regained might be weird because it might seem like he was the former champion and whatever when Seth did have a title reign,
No,
but like,
no. I just didn't remember Punk holding that title at all in his current WWE run.
yeah, well, I mean, the reign was so short, bro. Nobody could hardly blame you. So, because
Also,
again, it was,
definitely
yeah,
memory hold the fact that Punk beat Gunther for it.
yeah, or Gunther. Which, speaking of, I mean, there's been a lot of rumors. Gunther's going to be the final opponent for John Cena. And will he? Well, we don't really know yet because there is going to be a 16-person tournament beginning on Raw this Monday. The winner gets to have John Cena's final matchup. On one hand, I have to be honest, I do think personally it's a cool idea that John Cena's career is so prestigious. It's almost like Undertaker WrestleMania streak level that the chance to have his final match is like such a lucrative deal, such a huge deal. You got to do a tournament over it. On the other hand, though, like, look, and I've been honest about this ever since they botched the heel turn, and then they did the sudden face turn, and they didn't even do like a smirky, like again, my idea of like a Snickers commercial since we're already hyper capitalist. I feel like the whole thing's been bungled, and like, will this be okay? Maybe. I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I think I even said this last week on the weekly recap, if not 2 weeks ago, because I feel like I said it on here for posterity, or maybe I just said it to you during games. I can't wait for Cena's WWE career to be over. I am well beyond the age where I am sad when people retire because I used to be so locked in on wrestling. Now that like wrestling isn't nearly a core part of my life, I'm like, no, King, fucking leave. Wait until it gets really tiny in the rearview mirror and enjoy the rest of your life. That's where I am with Cena. Go, keep working on your acting, give 150% to acting, win that fucking Oscar because I think he can do it. And yeah, WWE can suck my nuts. So whoever wins the tournament gets the final matchup. And I'm thinking Gunther will just be in the tournament, but we will see. And yeah, those are really the results that I care about. I mean, yeah, Dominic retained the Intercontinental title. Whatever, he pinned Rusev. Cool. And yeah, that's and Cody cheated to retain the WWE Championship again. Laughs in Kevin Owens, because this certainly wasn't the first time. He DDT'd Drew on the championship belt, and in before Super Blue's like, but Drew introduced the belt into the match. Yeah, you can introduce something, but that's different from using it. Cody actively used it offensively because he's a piece of shit. And he retained the title after Crossroads because our WWE champion, everybody. And to be honest though, it is fitting that he would cheat and be crooked to retain the title and really posture as being emblematic of American ideals. That actually wasn't a lie when we really think about it. So I guess that's all fine. Yeah, I think the only thing I did watch, actually, come to think of it, was a little bit of NXT, and even then, it was really all about Tatum. And she looks so good with that NXT Women's Championship. She is adorable. And she was like, I'm going to be a fighting champion. And and again, I think I even kind of touched on this with you. I did actually. I remember this was a Rocket League combo that I had with you. That I think it's really becoming lazy booking that we're just doing open challenges for championships and we don't even actually have like concrete plans for a champion. It's like, oh, we'll just defend it against this guy, have a bang or whatever. We're just literally just becoming pure work rate, no story. Why not just watch AEW at that point? And that may even be an insult to AEW. I mean, I haven't watched so long. They might be getting better at stories. So that might be an inappropriate pot shot. I don't know. But it just feels like
that they aren't because Tony Khan is still in charge.
You're so right, King. And yeah, so Tatum's like, I'll take on A challenges, of course. Izzy, who I just need to take a second here because I haven't done this yet in a while because I've said that I'm really plugged in on everything Tatum's doing. Izzy, I have to give credit to you, bud, actually. This should be like an Ashton Glazing segment as well because you saw something in her, I think, before anybody did. And I think she has really come into her own in this culling role. She looks the part. I don't know if this will even make sense to you. I feel like she's gained presence since she started. Like she has more presence to me than she used to. I think she's great on the mic. I think her facials are great. Let me tell you something about her body language, and I mean this is the highest compliment. This woman serves so much bitch. It is amazing. Like you can just tell it is going to be delicious for her when she betrays Tatum, because we know it's coming because Lyra Valkyria is the only true friend that Tatum actually has. Although, to be fair, the only other unique twist that I would be open for would be the culling actually preferring Tatum to Izzy and being like, Izzy, what are you doing? Like, no, Tatum's cool, but I don't think that'll happen.
Tatum is the champion and Izzy doesn't have a title.
Exactly. So, like, you betrayed her to win the title. I thought it was about the culling, not about you. But then again, Izzy's really carved her place as the leader of the group, which thank God, because have you seen how bulbous Sean Spears' head is? I mean, it just destroys all credibility. Like, where's the light bulb that needs to be changed? There's Sean Spears. So, yeah, that's what Izzy's got going on. She's amazing. I'm really loving her work as the heel. But yeah, Tatum is absolutely precious. And she's like, I know you guys missed the, like, kind of havoc wheel or whatever. I missed it too. She's got this wheel of challengers. She spins it. It's Lola Vice. They barely get to have a match because Fatal Influence beat up both competitors. So I don't really know what happens now. I mean, I figured JC would want a rematch. I think she'll lose that match because either Fatal Influence is getting called up together, or what I've thought would happen for a while, Fatal Influence breaks up, they turn on JC, and JC actually gets a face run, believe it or not. I think the way she works in the ring, I think the crowd actually kind of wants to get behind her in a way, but she's heel, so it makes it a bit difficult. So that's pretty much the extent of what I know. I'm going to breathe because I do have lung capacity, and I'm going to hand it over to my cohort here. Did you watch any wrestling this week, or would you like to remark on anything that I talked about a mile a minute here?
This is my favorite part of the show because this is where you have your long whatever you decide to talk about to start the show, and then you hand it over to me, and I get to say one word and we get to move on. No.
Amazing. You know what, man? I just have to say, I love that for you so much. I love that you have now made a life for yourself where you're like, wrestling, fuck you. And it's just made your life so much better. That's
the funny
great.
thing about it is we still watch Joshi and I enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I still see posts about wrestling on social media. And that is very commonly how I get any kind of information about wrestling. I forgot Saturday night main event was even tonight. I totally blanked on it. And I saw people talking about it in another server, and they mentioned Jade winning, and I was like, huh, I wonder if that was for the title or not. I didn't even know. Like, that's the degree of disconnected that I am, and I'm pretty stoked about it, honestly, just because I really feel like the industry as a whole is just losing touch with what about it appealed to me in the first place.
As somebody for a long time has really just been a stan of the very idea that your face deserves good things. At least when it comes to you disconnecting from this, it's been a boon for us personally. I mean, there's so much else that could be improved, obviously. But on this one thing, I mean, baby, we're going to the bank. So with that, that's it for the wrestling. I am actually going to do something that I would like to do for a change. I'm not really going to say much about politics this week, mainly because I really don't think that there's anything that big. There are only two articles that, well, not articles as in new articles. I'm using articles in a broad sense here that I would like to discuss. For one thing, it is November 1st. Snap is not going out. So I want to remind everybody again, I want to plug this site again. If you need assistance beyond your local food banks, whatever, and you don't even really know where they are, find help, FINDHELP.org. You put in your zip code and it connects you to all the mutual aid networks, food banks, whatever, near your zip code, nearest to your zip code. Now, I love the citizens of New Hampshire, the governorship. I don't really care for because it's Republican, and whatever. But I've seen a lot of citizens, like a lot of restaurants and stuff, offering free meals. I've seen a lot of food banks saying, we've got you. I plan on making a donation, I think a monetary donation to one food bank. I'm going to have to talk to my sister about it after my expenses get taken care of and I see where exactly my money is. I'm going to donate. So findhelp.org if you need assistance. And if you want to give assistance, I would strongly encourage anybody in your area, find your nearest food bank, or if you could donate or whatever, and just give what you can, because over 40 million people use Snap. 70% are already working full time. A good chunk of them are elderly and or just disabled or children. So a lot of vulnerable people, whether economically vulnerable or just vulnerable in the general sense, use these benefits. It is a scary time for a lot of people. And that's really the big story here, is that these benefits have not gone out, even though the government has the funds to pay it. Even though they have the funds to pay it, and I think they're legally required to use those funds.
Yep.
This has been a willful choice. And really, we can't mince words. It's not about political ideology. It's just the plain truth. They have an obligation to fund this program, and that obligation has not been met. And that's the plain fact of the matter, And so we have to take care of each other, because fundamentally all we have is each other. And I'm hoping to do, I'm looking to kind of unplug and do more actual leftism on the outside wherever I can, even if it is just donating. I would like to be more hands-on. I know that's not available for everybody, and it may not even be available to me, but whatever you can do, I'm telling you guys, now is the time to do it, because the institutions meant to help us aren't helping us. And that's really, I don't even think that's very vitriolic of me or it's too politicized for me. I really do think that's just the plain truth, right? And the only other thing, just to remind everybody what the priorities actually are, is it really does seem like we're very close to war with Venezuela. Venezuelan boats keep getting struck that are not carrying drugs. A lot of officials have come out and said boats, their size, the estimated size of their fuel tank, whatever, couldn't even reach it to the U.S. There is no fentanyl coming through from Venezuela or anything else. I just actually, before I go deeper into Venezuela, I just want to respond to this comment from Bestie here. I thought I read Trump was being forced to use those funds for Snap. Now, 2 judges ruled that he has to, but here's the thing again, and I say this every time, and I really need to drill this into people.
Who's going to enforce it?
Who is going to enforce it, right? I'm not trying to disregard the judiciary, but to be fair, the executive is, right? It's not me disregarding the judiciary, it's the executive. So it's a matter of who's going to enforce it. When you have a Supreme Court, on the side of the executive, when you have a party ideologically motivated by unitary executive theory, which is, to put it in simplest terms, that the executive, that is the president, should be vested wholly with power, no checks and balances, anything like that. And so when you have a framework like that, they are desperately trying to put in place, who's going to enforce the judiciary? Checks and balances only work. And see that I really want a lot of us plebeians, and I of course say that sarcastically, but that's how we're viewed, right? I really want us to internalize one lesson from all this. Checks and balances only matter if you care about it, if you willfully uphold it as a governing body or as an official. Because apparently, when you disregard it, that's it. It's a house of cards, baby. And in fact, I don't even really think that's the right analogy. It's completely illusory. Really, it's what it is. Really, it's God. And I'm really trying, given recent talks with my family and everything, to tone down my rhetoric. But again, I'm trying to find the line between sounding like a bloodthirsty radical and just being honest. it's peak liberalism to me. And why do I say it's peak liberalism? Because liberalism is all about norms and ideals. Checks and balances to me, as shown as that, is nothing more than a norm and an ideal. That is only a norm and an ideal so long as the people around it uphold it. Well, that's not happening. So you draw your own conclusions. So yeah, with Venezuela, more, and I do want to acknowledge, Tavares, it's great to see you, and I am happy your day was terrible. I'm just trying to stay on point, but please talk to the chat. You know, we're here for you. We love you, brother. But yeah, with Venezuela, boats keep getting struck. Trump has flat out said, we're just going to keep striking them. We're going to kill people. They're going to be like, you know, dead. That's actually how he more or less said it. Great.
By the
way,
bro, I don't know if you realize you said this, but you just said you were happy Javaris's day was terrible.
Sorry. I meant to say we're happy you're here. Clearly, and I'm sorry your day was terrible. My mind's going a mile a minute, bro. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough couple days for me, actually. So I do apologize. I did not, of course, mean that. I think you know that I love you.
I think, yeah, Javaris knows. Of course, I know. I just
wanted to make I am glad though that you corrected me. Obviously, I wouldn't want to put my foot in my mouth that deep. You know, I'm not on the far right. So yeah. Anyway, try and get this out. Yeah, so they're still striking boats. They're going to still strike boats, and the whole goal has been regime change. New York Times even said as much. They want to oust the Maduro government, which I'm not even defending. I really don't know the specifics of the Maduro government. I know it's not perfect. But then again, in its defense, the U.S. has been sanctioning the shit out of Venezuela the same way they sanctioned the shit out of Cuba. And it's very hard for any government to function when you're dealing with economic sanctions, which is something wish a lot of libertarians and other people would get. If it's so great, why government fail? As if external forces just no longer matter. It's funny how that works. So they want regime change. And it really does seem like it's going to go full war. And the funny thing is, the Maduro government, from what I'm reading anyway, and of course, do your own research, what have you, you know, they're like, look, we'll give you whatever you need. We'll give you whatever you need. And they're just like, no, because again, the goal is what we want, what we need, quote unquote, is for you to be gone so that we can have a leadership in there in the Venezuelan government that is amenable to U.S. interests and allows them to use oil in this. And I just need to say one more thing. And I really didn't think I was going to do this week. I really didn't. But again, I've got, and Ashton can tell you, he can vouch for me. I came into this kind of pissed off just with other stuff. And I'm just so sick of living in a world like this, just day after fucking day after fucking day. There's always this rhetoric, and I don't know if you've noticed this, bro, because you live in the same world I do, and we consume like similar stuff, and you're not totally politically unplugged. I'll admit that I'm far more dialed in, but you hear stuff too. There's always this rhetoric that we're like entitled to other people's energy. You ever notice that? Like, Venezuelans apparently don't need oil. Isn't that something? Venezuelans apparently don't need petroleum. Iranians don't need oil. Iraqis don't need oil. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's funny that we're the only ones that need energy, apparently. And they are like, what, plant-based people that get their photosynthesis? They just raise their arms out like they're doing a spirit bomb and they're nourished by the sun. That's crazy. How do we get some of that? I'd like to do whatever they're doing because clearly they don't need the oil or whatever. That's wild. And yeah, like, and then you've got, which, you know, Javaris is right. Another big news event was Jamaica got hit by a massive Hurricane Melissa, which these things are only going to continue to happen and get worse as climate change gets worse, which the good news, a lot of countries are moving over to renewables, although to be fair, and you know, to keep it balanced, a lot of those renewables are still dependent on fossil fuels for right now. I mean, we have a dependency globally on fossil fuels that is just crippling, and we're really seeing that in real time. But I mean, we're not even trying. Like, that's the thing. At least they're trying to transition, and I can credit them for that. I mean, it's kind of a necessary evil, right? I get that. Us, we're like, no, we like oil and gas. Mainly, we like oil and gas executives, and we just want to keep filling their coffers, and you guys can keep filling your coffins. Seems like a fair trade to me. And so we're not even trying. And so you get hurricanes like Melissa. I had a colleague who had family in Jamaica. Thank God they're okay. And their house is only slightly damaged. I was really worried about hearing grim news about that. But yeah, it's just going to keep getting worse. Hell, disasters in this country here. There's no FEMA to help them. And when even in like Republican areas, Republican government has been like, hey, can we get some help? No, has been the answer from the government. So yeah, it's bad, y'all. It's, you know, I can't sugarcoat it. I think there's a difference again. And what this government would love would be any extremism just being one-to-one with truth telling. Well, I think there is a difference between the two. And the truth is that, yeah, this is going to keep happening. Climate disasters are going to keep getting worse around the world. And, you know, I do commend other countries that are investing in renewables and switching over. But I'll tell you my next big concern, you know, on that topic is just now we're really, I think, gambling more with geoengineering. I saw an article recently that that $66 million was invested in some company that's going to try and dim the sun. I love how we will do literally everything, then challenge the prevailing socioeconomic order that is doing this in the first place. It's mind-boggling, honestly. If I think about it too long, I break. So I'm not going to because I'm barely keeping it together. So yeah, let's see. We talked about Snap, which is the big one. Um Javaris, I honestly can't blame you, brother. I try and argue against pessimism, but some days even I can't do it. And I'm like, you know what? Go through it and then try and find optimism again because I don't how the fuck we are here, bro. I I know why, but it's still a fucking headache. So we talked about Snap, we talked about Jamaica, talked about Venezuela, which you know was the big thing on my mind. I can't think of really anything else to talk about that isn't just the same old, same old.
I will say
You know,
I've seen a lot of posts of people being like, if we're not getting any benefits, why the fuck are we still paying taxes?
love that people asking that question, bro, and I hope it doesn't fucking stop
Yeah.
because yes, why? Why? Like, dude, I agree with you because I've been seeing it more too, and I'm like, yes, yes, because see, I've gotten beaten down to the point. Look, you know my politics. All of you know my politics. I love all of you, mainly because for whatever reason, you embrace me for all of the insanity and just unhingedness that I am. I would also like to think that I am a bit handsome, which makes it all okay. But that's, you know, jury's still out. So you guys all embrace me. I embrace all of you. But like to me, it's just the common sense of take care of each other. Like, we all know we're run by psychopaths, right? Like it's just not normal. Bezos came out with a statement where he's like, I don't know why everybody's worrying. In a few years, millions of us will be living in space. Which, again, to go through it for the umpteenth fucking time, one, no, we won't. Two, living in space would be shit. Three, it's not even guaranteed that it'll be you. And four, kind of related to point number two, that space would be shit. I don't want to live in space. I want to live on Earth. I think Earth is beautiful. I live in a beautiful state. Okay, I live by a riverfront. I love looking at it every morning, you know, or every like early afternoon when I wake up. It's a beautiful fucking sight. The trees are fucking beautiful. Nature is fucking beautiful. I don't want to live in space. I don't want to live in a fucking void. Okay, so like these people that fetishize space, and really, let's be honest, they just fetishize space colonialism. Can't wait to extract resources from another planet.
Damn, I
Hey,
really got on Earth a few centuries too late to colonize anyone else.
get that is with all the hunger, the poverty, everything else. It's like, what is your biggest lamentation? What is your biggest regret? I just really wanted to colonize space, man. What the fuck? Love someone. I am begging you to love someone. Oh my god. Oh my god. But no, no, you're right, bro, because I'm seeing the same thing. I'm seeing people ask questions, and I am telling you, and again, I am just being honest why I really try and say give what you can, everybody, because all we have is each other. And again, if we don't have those support networks, people are just going to do what they can to survive. It's just basic fucking nature. I really expect November to be a hard month for people, and that is grossly understating it. I can't even begin to conceptualize the stories that we're going to read with people not eating, people going, you know, skipping meals, becoming malnourished, which, I mean, again, you want to hear how bad that is? I mean, that's what's been happening to Gaza forever now. People not able to get food, children dying of malnourishment. I mean, again, it's a very sensitive topic for me. My formative years, you know, my early childhood, I was malnourished. I didn't eat enough. I still think like a lot of my developmental issues stem from that fact. This is a very sensitive point for me, but not that I can't talk about it, but quite the opposite. It's one of the biggest things to talk about because I mean, food is literally life. And even for people like me that love food, I hate to see people not able to fucking eat when there is enough to feed all of us. Reminder. We literally have enough resources. That's why I hate all the people that are like, well, it's overpopulated. We just need a culling. First of all, please get your eugenicism like out of my face. Please. It's disgusting. Second of all, no, it's resource hoarding, which has been going on, at least in my lifetime, the earliest that I ever conceived of it, 2012, and I guarantee you it's been a lot earlier than fucking that, right? Like,
What
it's just,
happened in
it's,
2012 that made you
I
realize
think
that?
2012 for me, again, speaking for me, was like the first time I saw the Oxfam report, which is it's their job to
Ah,
study wealth inequality,
gotcha.
and you saw how fucking bad it was. But I guarantee you, again, it's been earlier. I'm just going by my own personal experience, right? And it's just the hoarding just gets worse and worse and worse. But no. Instead we're doing now, which is a crazy tactic from the far right, which, by the way, completely unrelated note, but another story that I just thought of, which is actually coming more from liberal circles. There are heavy rumors that JD Vance, if this is true, if this actually comes to pass, I don't know if I'll cackle or I'll just what. There are rumors that JD Vance is going to divorce his wife because she's an Indian woman, right? And the far right hates that. His wife
Oh, to
gets
get
so
with
much
Erica
hate.
Kirk.
Yeah, and get with Erica Kirk. That's been the rumor that I've been seeing
Yeah.
because everybody is making a big hubbub about photos of those two recently, where like she's got her fingers like through his hair and stuff, and I think they're like photo testing it, right? Like, oh, this
Soft
looks good.
launch.
Exactly. I love that you said that. Perfect phrase. Yes, it's a soft launch of it, proof of concept, and like, wow, wow. We don't really talk a lot about JD Vance, and we probably should because even even though we've talked about like a lot of policy stuff that he's a toady of like stuff like that, I just have to say, what a reprehensible human being. I mean, I'm not about to coddle his wife. I mean, she had to know some of what he was about to agree to marry him and have children with him. But like the idea, now I joke a lot, right? And I have a very dark sense of humor, as you all well know. But like this dude, I don't know. When I say ironically, oh yeah, friendship is just using people as game pieces to advance. JD Vance heard that and he was like, okay, but instead of friendship, what about marriage? And like, that's the thing. Oh, sorry, honey. I went as far with you as I could go, but see, Erica Kirk, that secures me the presidency. It breaks the brain. It really breaks the brain. What a reprehensible human being. You married this woman, you had children with this woman, and because you get bullied by internet racists who, whenever they see anybody not conform to the masculinity that they are so rigidly imprisoned in, aka being happy not being them, they fucking cope and seethe. These people you have had bully you, and your own political optics have pressured you to pretty much abandon the family that you made. Very Christian of you, if it happens. If it happens, but very Christian of you if it does. Great values there. Um, so yeah, that was fucking wild. And yeah, just everything just continues to just do what it does. Isn't that great, everybody? And yeah, richest administration in history, nothing but billionaires. Who would have ever thunk that they would not have had any idea or any care for what people like all of us go through on a day-to-day basis? That's it for me. I think I'm broken, really. There's really nothing more to report. I'm just glad that we're all in this together. If I didn't have anybody to go through this with, I'd probably go out of my mind. So I definitely appreciate all of you. Do
Did
you
you
have
see?
any?
Did you see the Senate passed a bill that would force, basically prevent the executive from being able to enforce tariffs, and it would prevent Trump from being able to do the tariffs and not have to roll them back?
That's going to be interesting to see play out because I did hear something about that, but it's funny because I mean, you've said this again. You've been saying this, I think, for a few months, like on and off, whenever the topic comes up. Tariffs were really just their way of like doing insider trading, of like
Yep.
making pretty much for his friends like free money, right?
Yep.
And so now it's like, oh, well, I guess that money, well, might have dried up. I also always agreed with the theories, and I still agree with the theories, which is why they don't want to do anything about climate change either, that they're waiting for a lot of assets to depreciate. Why? So the richest people can come in, gobble it up, privatize it, and you have even tighter oligarchic control. But here's the thing about all that, and this is where I remain really like, I know it's a paradox in terms, but very nihilistically hopeful. Nihilistic in the sense of like, I understand that this order is just untenable and it just needs to go. I'm not even thinking about any other positive. We need to get the cancer out of the body first before we talk about anything else, right? And that has to come, I feel, because this is not, again, this is not tenable. You have more
It
people
really
asking what is
feels like
potential.
a general strike is inevitable at this point.
Yeah, either general strike or like, I'm not even, I want to be careful how I say this because I'm not trying to be doomerist, but when I say collapse, right, I just mean like the whole house of cards is this whole thing they're building.
Well,
They're
that's the
building
point
a,
of a general
yeah,
strike is to cause that, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. And I even joked with my friend. I've got a Canadian friend, Carly, who is just absolutely wonderful. I love her, and she shares a lot of like all of our politics. And what was it that she said? She was shocked that we haven't done a general strike already. And we were just both kind of remarking how like he's making like a millions and like what is it, $230 million ballroom,
Yeah.
and people are starving. Like this is Palace of Versailles shit. Like this really is French Revolution shit. Again, that's not even me trying to be hyperbolic. That's history. It's the let them eat cake mentality, right? That doesn't end well for you. I mean, I even read report. You want to talk about reports? We were just talking about J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk. I read reports that Stephen Miller, Christy Nome, and a few others are living on military bases away from people. Why? I'll tell you why. Because they know how pissed everybody is. Like, and that's the thing. They are so confident. They are so confident, like, oh, we've got the military on our side and this and that. And that may be true. I don't want to discount that possibility. But here's the thing. There only gets to be a point. I'm speaking from a psychological standpoint because I've been thinking about this more lately. There's this concept that this Italian philosopher, of course, you guys know I'm a philosophy nerd, so I'm actually amazed it took me this long. But he talks about this concept of bare life, where it's just biological life, heartbeat, all this stuff, and nothing else, because everything else is so regimented and controlled. I really think we're getting close to that point of bare life, where it's just bare subsistence and nothing else. Because what is there? What are we paying for? What are we fucking doing? As these people laugh at our pain, continue to use taxpayer dollars to do bullshit that we did not democratically vote for, by the way, and just things are out of control. It's really getting to the point of when it's just bare life, what the fuck do I have to lose? And I promise you, people will grow to have that mentality. And when people grow to have that mentality, what they do is anybody's guess, because I guarantee you, no kings was only an appetizer. When people realize that you're going to need to do more than no kings, good luck with that. I'm telling you that this is why, again,
Here's a question
Mamdani.
for you, John. Something to just kind of chew on a little bit.
Sure.
Haven't you told me before that No Kings was organized by liberals or something like that?
It was organized by a liberal group, and you could tell because they had qualifiers like, let's not bring like Palestine signs. Now, to be fair and to give balanced coverage, there were plenty of cities, operating under No Kings that did have Gaza related signs or Palestine related signs, and it was fine. They didn't get chastised or anything. Others, apparently, it was like, I got told to put my sign away and I told them to fuck off, and that was just the end of it. So it was kind of a mixed bag. But yeah, it was like a liberal thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I ask that because the conspiracy theorist in me has to almost wonder if maybe these No Kings protests were preempted as a way to give people who would otherwise take real action to have something harmless to do.
Yeah. Oh, that I mean, we have a term for that. I think the term is like desire capture or revolt capture. It's
Yeah.
like that. That's what they blamed Bernie for a lot of times. Was like, here's a guy that can have a left wing populist campaign, and you could funnel it into the system. All of this like raw psychic energy, raw material energy, and you funnel it into the status quo. So then like nothing really gets upended. Sooner or later, though, and here's the thing: if you're, and I'm not, and Ashton isn't, and nobody here is, but if anybody's a left wing accelerationist, which again, just to break down our terms so everybody knows, because I know some people are like, what is that? And that's understandable. Accelerationist pretty much believes that we achieve communism faster when we accelerate the contradictions of capitalism, wealth inequality, all this stuff. When we accelerate it, causing capitalism to collapse on itself, and then we can arrive at communism. I've never believed in accelerationism, but let me tell you something. If you're an accelerationist, this is your time, okay? Because either you're right or you sit down and shut the fuck up forever. Because if these conditions aren't accelerating capitalism, I don't know what the fuck is, okay? So this is it. This is your time to shine, baby. I didn't think accelerationists would get their number called. I thought primitivists would get their number called before accelerationists. But here they are. They're like, oh my god, it's me, guys. We're on, and they're doing the fucking thing. So it's up to you guys now, because either your ideology is correct or it's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you saw the banquet that Trump threw either yesterday or earlier today. I think it was yesterday. But like, if that doesn't scream "let them eat cake," I don't know what does.
Like, I saw it. I saw the pictures. I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, these people really think. And and here's the thing: if we're being honest, and if we're having an honest, mature conversation, because God knows I'd love to crash out live in front of you guys. I feel like I've done it a little bit. I've let a little bit slip out, but I've mostly kept it together. But if we're being honest, they might be right that they just get away with it. But I just feel like if history is anything to indicate, we'd even have to qualify, what do you mean get away with it? Because here's the thing: even if their idea is living in space, they're not as smart as they think they are. And it's going to be shit. So even if their idea is, oh, well, we'll just leave the poor to be on that dying planet and die of heat exposure or floods or hurricanes or whatever, and we'll just go to space. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. You'll live like shit. And sooner or later, your goodwill's going to run out. Or they're probably also thinking, well, I'll have life extending technology and, I'm never going to fucking die. Again, good luck. Good luck is all I have to tell you, because I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. And there are a lot of angry people right now. In fact, as of today, I would assume there are over 40 million angry people. Time's running out for all of us. Either we do something or we don't.
I mean, look, here's the thing. You use the 40 million number because that's the number of people who are on food stamps that aren't going to be getting food stamps this month.
Yeah.
But combine the people who were already pissed, the people who, let's say, either voted for Kamala or voted for even like the Jill Steins of the world, or the people who didn't vote because they didn't see a difference but actually have a heart and think that what Trump is doing is awful, or even the people who did vote for Trump but didn't realize how bad that would be for them personally, including the people who are on food stamps and losing them, including the farmers who are getting fucked over by the tariffs and other policies that Trump has been putting into action. There's a hell of a lot more than just the 40 million that are going to be losing their food stamps that are going to be really pissed off.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And here's the thing: I didn't expect the politics segment to go so long, but of course I had to pull a me and be like, hey guys, I really, really hate fascism. Let's talk about how much I hate it. But there is actually two more things I do want to talk about, and I have to thank you for the attention because you jogged my memory. Actually, for one thing, Mamdani is more than likely going to be mayor of New York, and the meltdown over it, dude, or New York City, to be just crystal fucking clear, and the meltdown over it has been hilarious. Oh my god. I mean, literally, there have been like fucking online chuds being like, Western civilization has fallen. Oh my god. These people are so unserious, and I can't believe like their rhetoric and their ideology is more or less in the highest office of government. It's a clown world. So yeah, there are people like that. There are people that again are like, after 9/11, I can't believe we have a Muslim as mayor of New York City, which great Islamophobia, really nice.
Dude, you have no idea how many people and by people I should say like sack of shit, right wing, probably bots, on social media. But you have no idea how many of those types I've seen trying to either A, believing and being scared of, B, trying to perpetuate the misinformation that I'm about to tell you, or C, both, that Mamdani wants to bring Sharia law to New York City.
Dude, yeah.
As if the literal current entire government administration isn't trying to turn this into a Christian nation where we have our own version of Sharia law.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
They are so fucking obvious, bro. It's the same playbook.
I'd like for us to have several grocery stores that are accessible and affordable. Oh my god, you Muslims fucking heathen. Jesus Christ.
How dare you want people to eat? Um, it just, and here's the thing. Mamdani's doing great. Graham Plattner in the main Senate race. I mean, I know people tried to be like,
Uh,
Nazi tattoo and old Reddit post, but he's still beating the opposition by double fucking digits, even with the elderly, by the way.
yeah.
If there's been any good thing, and it's only as good as we make use of it, right? If there's been any good thing about living in a far right kind of moment, it's that I really do think, even if it's not full on radicalizing people to where like you and I are, where you and I are took time, right? The important thing is this has definitely pushed people to the left, at least of that ideology for sure. Because people are looking at it and they're like, this actually sucks. Like my life was already bad materially, but somehow it's even worse. And the only people that are really still liking it, let's be clear, are those that drank the Kool-Aid that like they don't care even if they suffer. It's kind of that sadomasochistic thing. They just want to know that brown, black, and just other marginalized groups are suffering too. The cruelty's the point, as we say often on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Plattner doing great. Mamdani, who's the big thing, because that race is coming. I mean, early voting's already started, and even when the establishment Dems, which Hakeem Jeffries needs to fucking go. I mean, that dude has been showing his ass
Mm.
at every opportunity, gives the most tacit endorsement of Mamdani. And then, because you guys should know this, I think this woman was a representative of Georgia. I don't know her name. I can't recollect it right now. But there is an 88-year-old rep with dementia that recently got scammed out of $4,000. And when Hakeem Jeffries was asked, do you think she should run again or whatever, he says, well, I think that's up to her and her delegation. Really, really, like I'm telling y'all, we talk about a lot of things on here, and we have talked about a lot of things on here over the years. Gerontocracy, which is ruled by the old, needs to fucking go. This is ridiculous. She has dementia, and really, I'm not even trying to be hard on her. But I mean, if she would decide to run again, then to be honest, I might be a little harder on her because, like, what the fuck? But like the idea that you can't even step in and be like, she had a great career, she gave a lot to public service, but it's time, and instead you give this kneeling amount, well, to her to decide. I hate it here. So the last thing I want to talk about, because I'm not done giving it to the Dems because they are part of this too, because they're not a real opposition party. There was a billionaire funded. I'm going to tell you guys the same way that I told Ashton this. Got to get all the important facts out first. There was a billionaire funded study of where do the Democrats go from here? Kamala lost. We need to regroup. A lot of people don't like Trump. What should the Democrat message be? Now, before I actually continue, funny thing about these kinds of booklets or notes, if you want to call them broadly, the RNC did this after Romney lost. And actually, the RNC plan, if they would have followed through on it, would have been nice because they said, oh, we got to stop being so anti-immigrant. We got to be more moderate on immigration. Maybe we got to do more for single mothers. Like, if we're saying that we're pro-life, maybe we need more of a comprehensive pro-life program. There were I would never vote Republican, but by their standards, I'm like, you know what? That doesn't, some of the horns are kind of shrinking back into your head there. Trump looked at those notes. It's like, fuck you, I'm going to wipe my ass with this. Went full faux populist on the far right. And we are where we are. You guys are living through it like I am, so you already know. So I say that to say that anybody that truly understands what this moment calls for, which is left-wing populism, which, again, I'm not saying full-throated communism, whatever. I get that. But playing within the rules, you can do left-wing populism. Again, Mamdani's doing it, right? And it's working, and it's winning. Graham Plattner's promised to do it. It's working, and he's winning dominantly. That's where the party is headed, or at least should be headed. Now, this plan, again, which is billionaire funded, was like, oh, we need to do more economic populism, and they recommend a $15 minimum wage, which, let me tell you, that window's fucking passed. It needs to at least be 30 in this day and age. Okay, 15 ain't gonna fucking cut it. I still can't believe there are some states that only pay $7.25. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. And they talked about other stuff, but here's the big thing. They said we need to de-emphasize issues like Medicare for all, as if universal health care doesn't have broad cross-ideological consensus among Republicans and Democrats as, yeah, I want that. Because who the fuck wants medical debt? Which, by the way, related to this point, credit scores are about to get a whole lot worse because I think there was a law in place where like medical debt couldn't be held against a credit score. Trump removed that. So now if you have medical debt, that's going to negatively impact your credit score. But we don't need universal health care, right? We don't need to fix the healthcare system or any system for that matter. Everything's great. They also said that we need to stop talking about issues while concentration camps are in effect, by the way. We need to stop talking about cultural issues and identity issues. See, no, there might have been a time for that where you would win more on economic populism if we're talking purely strategically, but you have to get out in front of this now because people that are American citizens are being round up and put in fucking camps or just straight up deported to countries that aren't their country of origin because of the color of their skin, right? And like that's happening. Trans people, I mean, they have been cruelly treated systematically for fucking years because all the conservative wet dream is that every trans person just commits suicide or just goes away. You need to stand by them because that's a voting bloc that is woefully underrepresented. So, no, don't throw them and migrants under the bus. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, and they also said, let's not talk so much about climate change. Cool. Cool. Which also, funny thing, if you want to know how big the fire is, look at the people telling you not to worry about it because Bill Gates, that billionaire, he actually said recently, oh, we need to stop catastrophizing about climate change. It's not as bad as people think it is. And I will tell you something, when I read that, that was actually when my blood did run cold because I'm like, if the billionaire is telling me not to worry, what do they know that I don't? Right? And so, yeah, let's just not talk about climate change, even though there are states in this country. I mean, Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, by the way, which everybody seems to forget. Super Bowl, I'm going to need you to tell me what you're reacting to because I know I'm talking a mile a minute here. But yeah, Puerto Rico, which still hasn't gotten the assistance that it needs, and it's a U.S. territory, so it's legally obligated to get that fucking assistance. But we've always treated Puerto Rico like shit. No wonder they want sovereignty. I would want sovereignty too if I was owned by a country that just did not give a fucking shit about me. There are U.S. states like I want to say Alabama and others that have again begged for FEMA assistance, and they've been told no because of climate disasters. Again, Melissa with Jamaica, horrible. Horrible. I think it was like a category 5 hurricane. But no, let's not talk about the planet. It's just the thing that we all live on. Makes perfect sense. The Democrat plan that these billionaires funded, which I think one of them was an oil executive, which is fucking hilarious. It's worthless. It's worthless. I promise you, if you actually believe in something, you could probably stand on all these things. You can say, I want to live on a planet with clean air and clean water. I want to protect migrants and trans people because they have a right to fucking live. I want universal health care, social security, and college because it's time that you guys got a return on your investment, that being the taxes that you pay. It's time you see a return on that for you materially in your life. You can talk about it all. Just be authentic about it. And honestly, after this presidency, if there is even a beyond with this, which I don't like to presume anything, if I was a left-wing populist, I would play the exact same game. I don't need to listen to any of you. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. Oh yeah, and churches, you're no longer tax protected, and if you don't start paying your taxes, we're going to force you to shut down. I really would. I would do the left wing. I would. I don't know if that's going to be a popular take with people, but we're seeing that bullying works, right? When it's done by the right, and in favor of these interests. If a left wing populist got in, they'd be like, well, I have Supreme Court protection. What do I'm immune. I'm doing everything within my capacity as president. So do what I tell you, give these people their money's worth because they pay taxes, or fucking rot. That's a world I would love to live in, but we don't. And I don't know if we ever will, but that doesn't mean we should stop fighting for it. So I think that's it for politics. Just wanted to talk about how war with Venezuela seems imminent. Again, Snap, just to circle back around that to findhelp.org. That would be finding mutual aid networks. And again, encouraging any of you, donate, volunteer if you can. Again, I'm hoping to, when all of my expenses get settled and seeing what I'm dealing with here, I'll be giving to one of my food pantries because, there are going to be a lot of hungry people, y'all. And we got to do what we can because we're all compassionate and beautiful people and I promise you, and you know what, this is how I want to end the politics section. I promise you life is supposed to be more than this. My favorite tweet of all time, and I wish I could remember who wrote it because they deserve eternal credit, is I'm on a planet that grows food. Why the fuck do I have a credit score? And I want you all to ask yourself that question every day. Why the fuck is any of this what it is? When this planet grows enough food for everybody, if there are places that are food scarce, we can help them. We can do a foreign policy based on cooperation rather than brute fucking force and militarism. We can do better. We can be better. The people that are stopping us are psychopaths. that have made a secular religion out of the dollar. That I even told Ashton, it's funny that they preach about being Christian because they're not even Christian. They're Mammonists, and Mammonism is just the worship of material wealth. Right, I got that from a book from Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, who was a African sociologist in the 20th century, from his book *The Souls of Black Folk*. Which, by the way, to all of my black comrades out there, another thing I would love to do as a leftist is finish Reconstruction, which would be reparations for slavery. No, I'm not kidding. Property for black people. So again, universal housing, which would go to all people, but I would honestly prioritize black people as kind of a soft launch, to use the term Ashton used earlier. Love that term. I'm going to pocket that term for later. And yeah, just UBI again as a pilot program, starting with black districts, because Jesus fucking Christ, what we have done to people throughout history, which I learned more the last couple months. Good fucking God. So yeah, we can be better than what we are, and I'll never stop believing that, no matter how grouchy, no matter how fucking miserable or pessimistic I get. I refuse to give them all of the optimism I have, because that means they win. And before they win, they've still got to chortle my balls. So that's how I'm going to end that. Is there any political news otherwise that you would like to share? Because I know you chimed in with a bit of stuff, which I really appreciate. Is there anything else you'd like to share or remark on, or can we move on to pop
No, we
culture?
can move on.
Excellent. So, freshest in my mind is the latest South Park episode, which I thought was quite good. Stan is an asshole. Again, just trying to do a fucking crypto coin, grifting people so that he can move out of the nursing home that his grandpa lives in.
Yeah.
And I like the running gag with Pam Bondi and just everything
The
else. The
shit on
way
her
they,
nose.
yeah, the shit on her nose. And Stephen Miller, I think they got exactly right. In fact, I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
he's ever looked better. Um, and one thing I love
Paper
about
looking
this,
ass.
yeah, exactly. One thing I love about like the Stan centric episodes, when he's an asshole like this, because I also think about Scars for a Cause, is that it always ends with him kind of dancing, because that was when he did the whole Jackin' in San Diego, I
Yeah,
think, Scars
jacking
for a
it and
Cause.
jacking it and jaggedy jack. I love that.
E- exactly. And then this one ended with him just doing the whole dance kind of segment in the nursing home. And
Yep.
I'm like, they really did. That was like a spiritual sequel to Scars for a Cause.
Yep.
Um, so I like that. Although Carmen didn't do anything this episode, did he? Did we
Well,
even get
yeah,
any
yeah,
Carmen?
yeah, yeah. There was the scene with Peter Thiel talking about how he's got Cartman incapacitated and that
Yeah,
he should stay out for 6, 7 more hours, and Cartman laughed at that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that joke is still over. I actually saw John Oliver this past week, and he has like a now this segment after his intro and before the main story.
Yeah.
And the now this in between the intro and the main story was about news commentators trying to understand 6-7. And I had to laugh because it made me think of the South Park episode. So yeah, it's a thing out there. And I was keeping up with the trends for a while, but I think 6-7 really just confirmed to me I am in fact old. And I promise not to be
Yeah.
too in the way, everyone. Um,
Skibbity Toilet was the first thing for me.
you know what? To be fair, I think that was the first one for me too. So I'm kind of lying. I've been old for a long time, people, and I promise I've been good. I've been staying in the corner, enjoying my unfrosted wheat, and it's going to stay that way. I
Okay.
promise.
You're just bragging about your elderliness now.
Yeah, I tell people I'm like I oscillate between anywhere from 70 to 84 on the inside. So yeah, South
I
Park
feel
is
like
first
you've
on my
told
mind.
me and maybe even your sister several times that you're 30, however old you were at the time, going on 90.
That's true. 90 when I'm really feeling it. When I'm really feeling like, "Ugh, back in my day," and I just haven't croaked yet. So yeah, definitely, I haven't really felt 90 in a while, but I always have that elderly spirit. But beyond South Park, I know we did the Jurassic World Dominion and then Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah. I
Fucking dinosaurs.
I gotta say, Jurassic World Rebirth was okay. I don't know. It's interesting because like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I kind of hated for some reasons, but I also kind of loved it for others. Like it was very like divisive within me. Which if you take something that you love and hate at the same time, it kind of averages out to just being okay. But this was kind of like the less extreme version of that, where it's just kind of okay because I don't really feel love or hate towards it at all. I just kind of feel basically nothing towards it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think if I had to rank the Jurassic World movies, I would say one Dominion, two Jurassic World, the original one, three. I might even say Fallen Kingdom above Rebirth, honestly, just because at least Fallen Kingdom made me feel something,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if it did piss me off at points.
I just like to watch dinosaurs eat people. I really don't have much skin in the
I
game.
love that
Um
for you, bud.
I feel like people that lose torso from things that they don't understand makes me pop. And that's really all I have to say
We
about it,
need to
honestly.
make a new Hollywood franchise that's Jaws, but with an octopus.
I mean, I'm hard as hell. So,
We
yeah,
do.
guys.
We need to make a Hollywood franchise about the consequences of meddling with nature, like Jurassic Park's theme has almost always been. But rather than having it be about a big old great white shark, have it be about a giant venomous octopus.
Man, and I would start a cult around it because that is a cephala god.
Yeah. Oh man, you know the only cephala god I've ever known was Cthulhu, but I can make an opening for this.
Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, for a while now, I'm never going to do it. Because God, so many of you would look at me so differently so quickly. I have wanted to do a thread for a while on our Discord in the movies and television channel of just psychotic things that make me pop for movies and television. But man, it would get so dark so quick. It's like, wait, you laughed at this? Yes. Um, because I'm even just thinking, I know this was like a while ago, but I'm still thinking about Sweeney Todd and Mrs. Lovett just burning in the fire. I really wanted to do a clip of just looping that with Darude Sandstorm. That would have been art. He's just like moving her arms in the fire. It's like it's perfect. I'm telling you, I have the fucking vision. And yeah, I
Oh
watched this scene
god,
of
you
her
just
burning in the
unlocked a memory.
yeah. This is also why, to answer a bestie, why I'm not running for president. You don't want me as president. No, there'd be too much sick twisted shit going on. Granted, it would be against Nazis, and they're not even people, so who cares? But um, yeah, just I was watching her burn, and I'm like, man, movies are great. So, yeah, I had fun with those movies. You know, seeing man's own hubris, being like, but no, I need this thing because I'm gonna be rich, and then just nature has their way with them. It just hop. So that was that.
Yeah, watching that
Um,
guy get pulled apart by the D Rex was pretty sweet.
man, did something to my D-Rex if you catch my drift. Uh,
Oh,
sometimes the way you pop is so precious. I just want to tussle your hair and call you adorable to your face. So, but I know you wouldn't be into that, so I'll
you
respect your
don't
personal
know that.
space. Wow. I should more or less being like, sir, it wasn't a no. Um,
Don't tell me about myself.
Atlanta's a great show. Uh, God bless Paperboy.
I'm honestly surprised at how few people that we know have seen Atlanta.
Dude, I know more people need to watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, we're keeping up with it. Welcome to Derry, which is been it's been good. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I feel like in a way it goes harder than the movies do as far as like the creep factor and like the gore. I'm like, damn, like you really be fucking up those kids. Um, but yeah, I'm enjoying that so far.
Those poor children, man.
Dude, I know. And like, look, normally I'm the guy that's like, oh, fuck them kids. But I mean, if you look at this show, I mean, some of the worst fears are like, no, literally, we did sexually horrible things to those kids. And I'm like, oh God, I can't. Like, it just makes me squeamish. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, what else have we watched? 'Cause we did the Jurassic and
Yeah, we did
we
Jurassic. We did both It movies and Welcome to Derry episodes 1 and 2. We did Annihilation. That was a cool movie.
I'm so glad you mentioned Annihilation because I'll tell you, it was a good movie. And I mean this more as a compliment than anything. I wish it would have marinated on the concept a bit longer because that whole concept of what are they? Shimmer, the
Yeah.
prism. I thought that was such a unique fucking concept. I wanted them to stay in that a bit longer. I didn't think that they got all of it, or they got as much mileage out of it as they could have, but just my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Um,
That seems
we
like
already
almost like it would have been almost better suited as a series,
Yeah, I agree, I
where like
agree.
maybe
Yeah.
like season one we get like we open season one with the meteor striking that lighthouse, and people want to investigate and weird things keep happening, and by the end of season one the shimmer has like fully grown out to what we see in the movie, and then season two of the show is what we saw in the movie with the group investigating the shimmer, and Natalie Portman's character making it out. And then I don't know where you go after that, but the point is you have two solid seasons of TV there, and you wasted it on like a 2 hour long movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Really,
And
also,
that's
while I'm
I is it just me, or does nobody want to take their fucking time to tell a goddamn story these days?
I agree, man. I agree. I feel
Bro!
like yeah,
Oh my god, devastating news that I wanted to talk about while we were live here today. This has to
of
do with
course.
media, so it's Super Sentai is fucking ending.
Dude, I saw that. I'm so glad you mentioned this because I like when you talk more in the segments that we have. Because again, I know I've got a motor that never stops. I know you were a big fan of it. I know we watched some of it together. Like, how did you
Well, we
feel about the
watched an
news, man?
entire season together.
Yeah,
We
yeah, we
watched
did.
Kyoryu, I think it was Sentai Ryu Soldier, which was
Yeah,
the season
yeah.
of Sentai that ended up becoming Power Rangers Dino Fury. And having seen both, the Sentai is far better, in my opinion. I
I
think
mean, dude,
because I have a thread in our Discord where I go through all the I had my big rewatch, or not rewatch, but my big marathon through all the Power Rangers seasons, and I gave them all grades, and I graded like the overall season on a scale of 1 to 10, and I also ranked my favorite Rangers of each color, like my favorite Red Rangers, yellow, blue, etc. And yeah, Cosmic Fury, or not Cosmic Fury, I think Dino Fury ended up being like a 7 out of 10 season for me. It was kind of mid, honestly.
yeah. I mean, dude, it's just crazy. So I'm coming from the perspective as a guy that's not really a big fan, right? Like I know
Right.
you and I think like Javaris and Mark, I think like are bigger fans. Kirby, I would assume, stuff like that. But even just as a casual, like 50 years and then
Yeah.
just to end, like
The
that's
first season
crazy.
was in 1975.
That's nuts. That's nuts. That's yeah. I mean, not to be that guy, but if you really want to know how much the world's changing when cultural institutions like that come to an end,
Dude,
holy
right?
shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, that's insane,
Yeah,
man.
the Super Sentai season that was originally adapted into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers started in 1992.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. So and well, that's the other thing. Power Rangers is officially over now too, or at least the version of Power Rangers that we're all familiar with. From what I understand, I think Netflix is going to be making more of like an adult, or I guess like more mature um, spin-off, I guess, of Power Rangers. But the version of Power Rangers that we're all familiar with is like pretty much officially done and over with. Like there's no current plans for them to make another season of it since Cosmic Fury, which was the last one.
Yeah, see, and here's the thing. Properties that want to like grow up with their audience, I commend that. And I understand that mature is a very broad concept because it doesn't always translate to being like, oh, more gratuitous or whatever. It could just mean dealing with more like adult life themes. I remember a
Mm-hmm.
while back when like Hilary Duff wanted to do that with Lizzie McGuire, and I was actually really excited for it, but that never got off the ground. And I actually thought, like, that actually I think would have been worth a watch because, that fan base has grown up. They're dealing with things now like monthly periods and potentially pregnancy and maybe toxic relationships and whatever the hell. Like that, there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole host of issues you could tackle. So the idea that Power Rangers would want to grow up with its audience, I'm sorry, that's exciting to me. And I would hope that they'd stick the landing. And it's just crazy though how much like that's changing. Yeah, just a lot happening, man. A lot happening. Um, Yes, poor Super Bowl. I feel like that's the second what I've seen him put in the chat. Like he did not know about a lot on this stuff. Um, and and he said Disney is in control again. Netflix isn't doing anything with it now. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was about the Lizzie McGuire thing. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's the thing. If you're gonna go for nostalgia, you
Yeah.
should at least still make it something new in the process. And so yeah, I do respect that move. We'll have to see what comes of it. What else did we watch? We watched Stranger Things trailer
Oh,
for
yep.
this final installment. Um, Not too wowed by the trailer, honestly, but I still think part one of the final season is going to be good. Um, you know, I wonder if we're still getting the movie because my understanding when the series first came out was the Duffer Brothers were like, we're going to do this many seasons and a movie. So I'm wondering if we're still going to get a movie after this or if plans have changed because I'll tell you, the actors that have done all this, I mean, they're adults now, right? And they're probably looking to other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be curious how it all ends. So that was really cool. Um, I watched some weird trailers on my own, and I shared them in the Discord. I watched one that was like it had Chris Pratt in it, and it was like an AI judge, and
Yeah,
like
that
it was on
premise was so fucking interesting.
and then Chris Pratt just made it a Chris splat in terms of interest.
It is wild because he was legitimately one of my favorite parts of Parks and Rec. And I loved him as Star-Lord in the Guardians movies. But over the course of the last decade, and for me, it started with Jurassic World, like the first Jurassic World movie that came out in like, what was it, like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah,
I just can't fucking stand it.
yeah,
He plays the
yeah.
same character in everything now. It's like fucking brooding badass.
Oh
Who
God, it's
gives a
the
shit?
Dwayne syndrome
It's
where you
the
do, yeah,
Dwayne, exactly. He is his own version of Dwayne. Yes, exactly.
Mother of God. Um,
And I
and then
think it's
another
got to do with the fact that like he's made it big now, so he is going to end up being able to like, use some of his pull to have his character be more of a badass and more cool and harder to damage and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like he wants the characters that he portrays to be these like cool brooding badasses. And so even when a character isn't necessarily written to be that, he can use the sway that he has in Hollywood to get the person directing or writing to change shit.
exactly.
Plus we
And
know he's
coolest,
just a piece of shit in general.
yeah, the coolest thing I watched this week because there was that other trailer I was gonna mention. Oh yeah, it was Crime 101. That movie actually looked good to me, and it had a stacked cast. I know you didn't care for the premise, so I might watch that on my own time.
Yeah.
Um,
What
you know
is I
that
forget. What is the premise of that one?
Chris Hemsworth, I think, just like this criminal, like this white collar criminal seemingly, and he's gonna go like on this big one last heist, and he
Right.
cross paths with Halle Berry's character. I forget what she does.
Dude,
Um,
she looks fucking incredible.
Dude, she does, man. I
Do you
think
know how
it's
old
like,
she is?
dude, she has to be in her 50s now at this point, right?
She is going to be 60 in August.
Is in what? What is happening? I don't
She is
I don't know.
59 years old.
Bro, I don't know anything anymore. Just throw the whole
Same.
goddamn thing away.
Right?
Like I am so out of the loop. Like just put
That
me in the
woman is
corner with
older than my mom.
yeah.
Hey, and I don't look too bad either.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, when did I get to be a part of this?" Um the coolest thing I watched this week. I got to plug this. I did watch um John Bernthal's podcast, most of it, his
Oh?
podcast, Real Ones, with Deborah Ann Wall,
I love
who
her.
plays Karen Page on Daredevil for the uninitiated. Oh my God, what a sweetheart!
Dude,
Oh my
right?
God, like
I adore her. Wait, is this a new thing that came out or is this like something that's been out for a while now and you just got around
it's
to
been out
watching
for
it?
a little bit. I posted in
Wait,
October
was that the
27th.
episode where she got him to role play?
Yes,
I loved watching that. Yes, that was amazing. She's
dude,
incredible. I love her.
dude, I want to watch more of her stuff now that isn't
Yeah.
Daredevil after that
Yeah.
because like dude, the issues she talked about with her bullying and everything and feeling so like that hit me like a truck.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you seen you like as a person? Like you radiate sunshine. And even like John Bernthal, like I know he meant well. Like I'm not trying to like diss him or take him to that. I thought he did great actually for his part. But like even he was kind of looking at her like, are you seeing the same Deborah that I'm seeing? Like you're fucking amazing. And like she just yeah, she just doesn't see it. And like that is so sad. I really hope she just continues to get better and get more confident. And really, I'll tell you, big ups to the creator, either the creator or director of like the Daredevil series, because she talked about like how gratifying it was when she got like her own episode, for Karen, and she got to kind of either direct it or executive produce it. She said that was so validating after all my hard work. And the idea that they validated her when we know what a tough go women have,
Yeah.
in Hollywood culture. Um, I had mixed feelings about Born Again the first season, but I'm gonna stick with that team because they know how to treat their team right. I am excited for the second season. I hope it's a bit better. But I thought that was so cool for her, and I'm like, man, and she loves D&D, which I've tried getting into. Not really my thing. I don't really think I could ever really get into it, but I know people here that are into it, you included, Bud, and I thought it was so cool that she got John Bernthal into it. Yeah, she's just total
Dude,
fucking sweetheart.
I watched, oh my God. I watched an episode of Sid and Olivia talk shit recently. And the only reason I watched it is because we just haven't bothered to keep up with it. And it
Yeah,
it, it had a guy on there that I was familiar with from Dropout,
yeah, okay.
Brennan Lee Mulligan. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all, but
Vaguely, I know I've heard that name before.
he's an improv genius. He is an unbelievably good improviser and improv comic and dungeon master. And they brought up Dungeons and Dragons with him, and he fucking DM'd a short story for them to get them interacting and get them role playing the same way Deborah Ann Wool did with John Bernthal.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
It was so cool. Yeah, dude. I love people like that who are just creative and can just come up with things on the spot. I am incapable. And I know this isn't even necessarily me trying to like denigrate myself. I have confidence, I have self-love. I'm horrible at making things up on the spot.
Yeah, yeah. No, man, it's a difficult skill for sure. And like I love that she has that, and I love that
Yeah.
she's so passionate about that. Because me, more generally, I just love people that are passionate about shit.
Dude,
Like,
and that clip
yeah,
too where she's getting Bernthal to do the role playing, she is such a good storyteller too. Like she's
yeah.
really good at like setting the atmosphere and getting you invested in what she's talking about. That was amazing.
I'm telling you, more and more there are like actors and actresses where I'm like, I enjoy you on the camera, but I want to see you behind. Like, I want to see you write your own movies and like direct them and like make your own vision. I'm still waiting for Bill Hader to direct his first movie.
Is there something in the plans for him or no?
No, because the next thing he's doing is Cat in the Hat, and no plans that I'm hearing about for him to direct yet. But I'm hoping it's coming soon. I mean, my God.
Is this like a
Um,
proper like Disney type Cat in the Hat movie, or is this like a parody type thing where it's going to be like more for
it's
adults?
a proper one. It's a proper one. He's the voice of the
Oh,
cat.
oh
So, like,
wow.
yeah,
Oh, so it's like
yeah.
animated. Is this like Illumination?
I think actually it might be Illumination. Yeah, I think.
Jeez. Okay.
Bill, why are you torturing me this way? But we also know. I think
Oh
there's like
yeah,
coming.
I just looked it up. It is 100% Illumination. Wait, wait. It was originally announced by Illumination, but it got apparently the film never came to fruition that Illumination wanted to make. So the rights got picked up by Warner Bros. So it's actually Warner Bros. Animation that's going to be making this.
Got so much going on with Warner Bros. Like, who's going to own them now? Because everybody wants to acquire it now, and I'm like, can we just
Dude,
not do monopolies?
I know, right? Well, and the answer to that question is during this regime, we're definitely doing monopolies. But they even got Xochitl Gomez, the woman that played oh God, what was her name? The girl that could like teleport between universes in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
I know who you're talking about, but the name I can't think of her name.
I want to say her
Fuck.
name was America. Yeah, America Chavez. That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah,
And the reason I got caught up there is because America Ferrera is also in the Cat in the Hat. So I saw her name and I was like, wait, I know it's America, but it's not that. What is it? What's her last name?
yeah.
The struggle.
Oh man, struggle is so real.
Yeah.
Uh, but but yeah, yeah. Just it was a cool thing for me, and I think as far as music, because I really can't.
Oh wait, before we move on from stuff we
Yeah, yeah.
watched
Please go
the
ahead.
two most recent Purge movies, the first Purge and the Forever Purge.
That's right, we did. Really appreciate the social commentary of those movies.
I didn't really like the Forever Purge all that much. Um, it's weird because like the movies have always been pretty clear that the NFFA are the fascists,
Yes.
and then in the Forever Purge, you had pro-fascist people going against the fascist law, which is the purge, and it was the fascists that were doing the Forever Purge thing, trying to quote unquote purge the country because they were white supremacists and they wanted to get rid of like the immigrants and the brown people and et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And that just made no sense to me. Like these are the type of people that would be the most pro NFFA, the most pro purge, the most pro fascist regime that's going on. Why the hell would these be the people now that all of a sudden decide to do this?
Exactly. Yeah.
And like as cool as like some of the action that movie was, I just hated that premise. But the first Purge, I think, might be my favorite Purge movie. I loved the first Purge.
Yeah.
And,
I'm
and
hearing that
to
there's
be
yeah.
clear, I'm saying the first Purge because that's the name of the movie, not the first movie that came out that was just called The Purge.
Yes.
That was the one with I think it was like Ethan Hawke in it, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
I mean
That's
that
correct.
movie's really solid, but the movie The First Purge that we just watched that came out I think in like 2018, I want to say, was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Even more than that, hold on. I wanna say their name properly. Give me just a second.
No
Thankfully,
problem, man.
hopefully my internet it doesn't take as long as it used to. So okay, yeah, we got this and cast. Lena Headey also was in The Purge, and I only mention her because
Cersei Lannister, right?
yeah, I learned a lot about her, bro. She did some really cool, like, early sci-fi stuff because I know me and Chris talk a lot about like sci-fi stuff.
Mm.
She did the Sarah Connor Chronicles back in like '08,
Oh.
and he's like, that's a great series. And like, yeah, she did a lot of cool stuff. And in fact, she's got some cool stuff coming up too. She's got a movie coming up that I want to, or it was either a movie or a series that I want to see. What was it? Was it this? No, it was some, or was it this even? Oh yeah, she's
Is this a movie or a franchise?
what I was looking at was movies, but actually, one thing she does have coming out soon. I'm thinking maybe it'll be next year. And the reason I'm excited for it is that Charlie Brooker's behind it, who was one of the creators of Black Mirror. She's going to be a part of a Netflix series. It's like a 4-part detective series. And yeah, she's the only name I recognize on it. But with Charlie Brooker's name on it, I'm like, I'm fucking there because like the last season
Oh,
of Black Mirror was
we know who
so
Patty
good.
Considine is.
Do we?
Yeah,
Huh.
dude, that's the guy that does the therapist character in Until Dawn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Everybody's in everybody's in everything. What the fuck? Like, the
I
hell?
I don't
Movies are just in
think
everything,
I
Bagel.
recognize Georgina Campbell, but I might. Do you remember the Black Mirror episode Hang the DJ?
Yeah, I do.
You sound a little excited there, bud. She played Amy though. That's who that is.
Well, look at fucking Charlie Brooker just digging in his bag. Goddamn. I will say, my hope for Charlie Brooker is that one day he gets to work with John Boyega because
Oh.
when he was going through his whole Star Wars controversy, Charlie Brooker said, quote, I would crawl through a pile of glass just for John Boyega to even read one of my scripts. So that's a guy he apparently wants to work with. I hope that happens for him, and I hope he doesn't have to crawl through glass to do it.
Yeah.
But then again, if he does do it, that'd be a Black Mirror episode in itself.
John
So
Boyega is fantastic. I'm honestly blown away that he has not been in the MCU yet.
yeah, actually, god damn, he's got like 3 TBA movies on his wiki page.
Oh wow.
That I'm not able to read anything about, but they
The
said one of them's called
Freshening, Attack the
yeah.
Block 2, and Otis is Zelma. I think Attack the Block actually looked really good when that came out.
He apparently lent his
Wasn't T.I. in Attack the Block?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I will say
I
though,
might be remembering the wrong movie.
I will say though, as far as television goes, he was actually in the latest season of Love, Death, and Robots. Apparently, he was the voice of Slash in the episode 400 Boys.
Hmm.
That
I
episode is
don't
not registered.
remember that
Oh,
episode.
I don't either. I'm like, what the hell? What are you people saying to me right now? Um, let me see if I can find a synopsis of that. It was in a post-apocalyptic world. Slash, which again was John Boyega, hones the psychic ability he shares with the remaining members of his street gang, the Brothers, while in hiding after an enemy attack. Oh, these were that was the giant baby episode.
Oh.
Huh.
I think that was made by the same people who did like the Northern Lights whale episode.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. So, any other like as far as like TV or movies that you want to mention? Because I only have one thing to mention for music,
no,
and then I should be good.
go for it.
Yeah, Conquer Divide came out with a new song recently. What was the name of it? Let me just pull it up very quickly because I bookmarked it very recently. It
Yeah.
should be, I think it was The Ocean Between Us.
Hmm.
Not bad. Not bad. Solid song. I was like, yeah, it's good
That's the
stuff.
reaction you give to like 80% of the music I show you, which is to
That's
say you're not going to seek it out.
yeah, I mean, I did bookmark it, but I'm like, it's still missing that like gritty Conquer Divide feel that I love. I don't know if they're still working things out because I know they had a bandmate leave. But yeah, look, on a scale of 1 to your face, it was I. Do you like how I used your face as the pinnacle? I thought that was neat.
I
All right.
also like
So
how the only number that you used was one. Everything else was totally vague and made no sense, but it's great.
exactly. Exactly. All right. You have the floor, bud, to talk about anything else, any games, any music, whatever.
Well,
Just yeah.
game wise, I really haven't played much in the in terms of games this week because I've been so focused on researching Pokemon Legends EA, and it's like I've been putting together a spreadsheet to end all spreadsheets that is basically looking for like hard counters to certain Pokemon and stuff like that. And like I've been sharing some of the more interesting finds that I've been coming up with during my research in the Pokemon Legends ZA thread in our Discord. That's about it though, gaming wise. I mean, maybe a couple like random mobile games. Like there's this one mobile game that I got called like oh god, let me see if I can find it. Nitsy, that's what it was. I don't even have to pull it up. I remembered it. Where you're like, it's like a color matching game where there's like a knitted blanket coming down, and you have to match the color of the yarn that you have in your little like pile with the color of the blanket coming down. And it's like it's like a puzzle game that's kind of fun. But yeah, that's really it. It's pretty chill week, honestly. Um, Musically, again, nothing new really. Just still kind of vibing with, the. I know last weekend I mentioned that I was on like a real Noah Kahan trip, and that is effectively over. I mean, I still enjoy the guy's music for sure, but that was definitely like a phase for me. And yeah, no, I actually drove quite a bit today without even playing music. It was weird. So I don't know. I guess I'm waiting for Muse to strike. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Are we ready for some Q&A, bud?
I think we are, Face. I think we are.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Keep going, dude.
I'm not gonna keep going.
Was that I just have to ask because I sensed it. Did you have a little bit of Joe Swanson going on there?
So the first woe was not intended to be anyone, but then I realized I could do an impression, and it wasn't meant to be Joe Swanson, but it was, I believe, the same voice actor. I was going for, is the guy's name Grunk from Emperor's New Groove?
Um, I thought it was Kronk. Was it not
Yeah, there
Kronk?
you go. See, you know better than I know.
You know, I'm so glad you said something though, because I was like, that was definitely giving Patrick Warburton energy, which is the
Yeah,
name of the voice
same actor. Yeah,
actor.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. My face knows things sometimes. All right, so let's get to questions.
Okay, first question's from Super Blue. Have you tried Arby's steak nuggets?
I have not.
You could hear my mom's reaction. She sure has, and she loves them.
Nice.
That was hilarious, Mom. Oh my god. I have also tried them, and I was not that much of a fan. The texture is great. They're nice and juicy, and they dissolve in your mouth practically. It's amazing. But they tasted like beef jerky to me, and I don't dislike beef jerky, but I would rather not have a meal taste like beef jerky. Like beef jerky is, in my mind, it's very strictly like a snacking food, and the steak bites taste so much like beef jerky to me that it's just, I don't know. They weren't worth, I think, the amount of calories that were in them for me to eat them. So I I think I tried one raw, not raw. I tried one naked, and it was kind of mid. And then I tried one with Arby's barbecue sauce, which is fantastic barbecue sauce. And I was like, ew, the steak ruins the barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Wow.
Haven't tried one or even eaten one since. I don't know if you guys know this, but I love getting Arby's mozzarella sticks and dipping those in the barbecue sauce. It is delicious.
Nice. Nice.
So, second question: what would you do if you saw Donald Trump being perp walked? A. Party like it's 1999. B. Take the day off to celebrate. C. Thank God. D. Retweet the hell out of it. Or E. All of the above. This is an X post from Super Blue, and can I just say, the fact that the person who originally posted this really included retweet the hell out of it, touch grass.
First of all, just because I know I have Chris Bond, I just want to state for the record that that popped me. Second of all, I gotta be honest, when I saw this question, and I'm not trying to be mean, the closest I guess that comes to my feelings would be celebrate, but really what I would do is just sigh relieved and then that's it. Because I get that Trump is bad. I'm not trying to discount that, but like he's a symptom of the system that's killing all of us. Now, if you change this to, hey, what would you do if you saw capitalism being replaced? Oh my God. I'd probably be in jail because I know we can't get rid of the carceral state overnight. For how I would celebrate if you told me, "Oh my God, John, we're not doing capitalism anymore," and there would be a lot of nudity, and all of it would look fantastic. Just my opinion. So yeah,
Would it
with
be
it being Trump
tasteful nudes?
to start, but look, bud, you know me better than most. You know it wouldn't last long. It would get very
Tasteless?
inappropriate, tasteless, and inappropriate very quickly. Uh,
Wow.
So it can actually, I don't normally do this, but I'm trying to lean into it more. Can you just give me an Owen Wilson wow?
Wow.
Thank you. So yeah, with Trump, I'd probably just be like, exhale, relieved, but then keep my eye on the prize because the system is what's making these fools. This system rewards psychopathy, and this system rewards greed and malevolence and everything else. Tell me when we change the system, not when we change the people behind the system. Anything else you want to add to this question?
No.
You've been amazing. All right, next question.
Uh, third question is just for me. And he said, should Lane Kiffin. Oh, wait, he spelled Kiffin wrong. I gotta fix that in my document. It'll drive me nuts. Should Lane Kiffin stay at Ole Miss or go to Florida? I don't see any reason at all why going from one SEC school to another would change his outlook on life or his lot in life. So I say dance with who brung ya and stay at Ole Miss. Fourth question is for both of us. How do you feel about Louisiana's governor being more concerned with LSU's next coach instead of helping his state? Oh, you cut out there. What'd you say?
I said par for the course. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah, exactly. I mean, how do we feel? You know, short answer, nothing. Long answer, we've been dealing with people being corrupt for so fucking long that we're literally numb to it.
Said.
Did
All
you say
right.
well said there?
I did. Well said, friend.
Nice. Fifth question from Super Blue. Now that Jey Uso failed, is it time for Jimmy Uso? And I need to tell you right now, John, I'm quoting Super Blue. These are not my feelings. Is it
Yeah.
time for Jimmy Uso, the superior twin, to take his spot?
Mm, First off, completely unrelated, but because you're superior to Jimmy Uso in every way, I really don't care that we're divesting time on this question to talk about your face. I just need to tell you that, because we were talking about sauces earlier, I wish your tone was a sauce because I would put it on everything. That was kind of an
That's
intrusive
hot.
thought I was having that I needed to share with the group. Okay, so now,
That's really fucking hot.
yeah, your face is really fucking hot, to be clear. So, with that established, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Sure. Sure. Go ahead. Do it. I need you to understand, Super Blue. You have worn me down. I don't know how often I can fight back against you and be like, but these people suck. Have it. Have it. I don't even watch it anymore. Go with Jimmy Uso. Hell, have him beat Cody for the WWE title. Objectively, that would be an improvement. Have Yoshihashi win the IWGP Heavyweight title. I mean, sure, you would be taking it off to Takeshita, which would definitely kill me inside, but it would make you pop, and I don't even watch it anymore. It's not getting my money. Go ahead. Go ahead, Super Blue. Have your circus. Have it. And just enjoy the shit out of it. So good luck to Jimmy Uso.
Can I just
Especially,
say, it
yeah.
is way more funny than it has any right to be that your decision to finally concede to Super Blue is on a Jimmy fucking Uso question rather than an LA Knight question, which would make you less upset and him happier.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, because I mean, LA Knight, I don't know if I'll ever run out of gas to hate that man. I really I don't know. Dude, like, and I'm being serious with you here, and I know you take my face very seriously, which is one of the plenitude of reasons why I love you. He moves so stiff, bro. Have you seen him walk lately again?
Are we talking about
Like,
Aztec now?
yeah, yeah, like
No, because I haven't been watching the product.
you're so right. I'm sorry. You're actually, yeah, you're taking care of your mental health. That makes one of us. So no, it's 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 really something. I mean, I learned
So
about
are you hypothesizing that even Super Blue sees how immobile LA Knight has been looking lately and has decided to give up on the prospect of him ever winning a world title?
respectfully. I don't know how respectfully this can even be. I don't really know what Super Blue sees. I was really going to say that he doesn't see anything, but that's way too presumptuous. The far easier claim is just to say that I don't know what he sees because he sees LA Knight and he sees a man that keeps getting screwed. Um, I mean, maybe Shaft would be a little bit too on the nose. I don't know. But I see a man that if ever there was somebody that needed a colonoscopy, good lord. So yeah, I'll give you Jimmy Uso because to be honest, he's probably better than Jay at this point. And Jay's been getting a lot more flack. Like I think people are kind of over him, except the people that do the entrance. But then the bell rings, and it's like, okay, so yeah, give Jimmy the ball. Why not? It's a Samoan dynasty anyway. And I mean, what's Roman Reigns gonna do? Come back for like 3 weeks and then disappear again for 8 months? Nobody really gives a shit. So there you go.
Main event, Jimmy Uso. Just sounds wrong, man.
Honestly, it's so funny because on one hand, it was your tone, which even when you say things that I feel like you take a little bit of delight in, it does give me a bit of a boner. I can't lie. I'm here for it. I've already told you, and you know this. I'm not saying anything you haven't heard. I actually wish to meet the alternate timeline you that is an utter fucking douchebag because I want to be friends with him, which should horrify everyone else. But even that, from your melodious voice and your impeccable tone, did hurt me a little. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh
And I know you didn't mean to. This is not
no.
against you, understand. It's just to say how much Jimmy Uso sucks. Like, good
Oh
lord.
my god.
Good lord.
Well, what's more offensive and what's more hurtful to you, though? The prospect of Jimmy Uso being a main eventer and certifiably with a title and stuff? or LA Knight doing the same thing.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I know this both does and doesn't answer your question. The idea that both of those things are plausible makes existence hurt the most.
Oh,
Because
not the
me,
fascism?
I mean, that certainly doesn't help. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you told me you can live without fascism, but these two have to be pushed, or you have fascism, but these two won't be pushed, and not existing was on the table, I would just choose not existing. I know one of them is objectively, unqualifiedly worse, but no,
It's
I'm
like
not
trying
putting
to
up with
decide between voting for Donald Trump and voting for Joe Biden.
exactly. It's like if I could just choose to go back into the ether where none of this shit matters. Later, y'all. See you next season, except I won't. Fuck you. And that's
Did you ever
essentially it.
wish that you could just experience life and consciousness as someone else?
So much. So
Oh,
much.
okay.
Dude, at first I thought, I'm gonna be honest with you, because again, I'm doing this new thing where I'm letting the intrusive thoughts win, and so far I haven't paid for it. Um,
That's hot.
I thought originally, gotta get my shit together because I'm laughing. I thought originally you were gonna ask me, have you ever wanted your life to just be broken up into seasons? And I was prepared to answer you that I would end it on a freeze frame every season, and that would make life bearable. But you didn't ask that, so it's irrelevant.
Okay, follow up question. What specifically is preventing you from living your life in seasons?
I don't have a studio audience, and I jump mildly better than Elon Musk, which doesn't make for a very attractive freeze frame. So yeah, those are the two things
Okay,
really stopping me.
follow up to the follow up. Why do you need a studio audience?
I think I deeply crave validation inside, but I'm also terrified of it. And so the studio audience can both feed it, but then when I really don't need them or I'm scared of them, I could just be like, you're not even real and none of this is happening to me. So, it's a nice coping mechanism, really,
Hmm.
I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Follow up to the follow up to the follow up. If you jump better than Elon Musk, that's
Mildly.
plenty good enough for a freeze frame. There were literally freeze frame, aka photos taken of Elon in the air.
Mm, a follow up to your follow up to your follow up to your follow up to your follow up. Was it unattractive from your
It's
perspective?
it's Elon Musk.
See, I knew you would say that. I was only fishing for the tone. And now that I can take everyone camping, I think we can move on to our next question.
Our next question, which is just for me apparently, who should be the next head coach for Oklahoma State? I don't know, maybe Brian Callahan. He just got fired from the Titans job. Maybe he would find more success as a college coach. There you go.
I'm
Um,
still waiting for you to be a coach. I think you'd be amazing.
I would love to, honestly. I think really I would have to definitely take some time to learn the ins and outs of coaching beyond just like the X's and O's of the game. But I do think I'd be a really good coach too. Seventh and final question from Super Blue. How will Dorothy being in Wicked for good help bring everyone together?
It won't?
Well, but it will though. I mean, that's the movie, right?
I mean, I didn't even mean to be dismissive. I was kind of confused by the question. Like, what? Um, what's happening?
Uh,
Um,
well, apparently everyone gets brought together in Wicked for good, and apparently Dorothy contributes to that, and Super Blue wants to know how.
I mean, probably through song, right?
Which
Oh,
one?
I don't know. And to be honest, like the first movie sucked. I really didn't want to have to think about these movies
Do you know
like
what though?
ever
I'm
again.
actually excited for the second one because like the roles have been established, and we don't have to wait while the villains pretend not to be villains.
Yeah. Yeah. I do find that to be a valid position. Also, weird thing to say about a position, but I also do find that precious. Also with Dorothy, like I don't really know. Like, is she just gonna say good things about the people, or maybe give like some rousing speech before she goes home? In which case, like, what the fuck does it matter? You're leaving us, clicking your little fucking slipper ass. So I don't know. I don't know. But again, that's why I'm thinking like song number, because if musicals teach us anything, it's that a song can fix anything. Which,
Fix a song can do anything.
yeah, I mean that shouldn't be the case. Much like it shouldn't be the case that Steve Irwin and Charles Darwin had the same tortoise, but somehow it is.
Wait, they had the same tortoise?
Yeah, they raised the same tortoise. It went to Charles Darwin, then
Oh,
he died,
this
and
I remember you saying this the other day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
How old
yeah,
was
I
that
mean,
tortoise again? Didn't you say it was like 180 years old or something like that?
175, something like that.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Tortoises
yeah.
get so old, y'all.
Mary aging, you lettuce eating
At,
piece of shit.
at that point, you might as well get a pet tree. They last longer.
Oh, you mean chia pets, the worst fucking gift in
No,
existence?
no, that's a pet bush. I'm being very specific. I said tree. Are you
Okay,
okay?
first of all, yeah, I'm laughing because I know Chris was on, so I have to clarify what's happening. You kind of made me break down into fits there because on one hand, I don't like to be challenged. So on one hand, I really wanted to throw down with you and crash out. But on the other hand, the way you enunciated Bush and kind of put me in my place and were pretty much just like I said what I said, flawless victory. I could see it. So yeah, it wasn't a chia pet. I was wrong. Okay. I should know the difference between a bush and a fucking tree. I do not. So that's
You know,
that's my
the thing
L.
about chia pets is they're not all bad.
Don't don't fucking massage chia pets because I know what fucking happens. You do this shit and then somehow I end up with one and I am telling you.
Listen,
I am telling
man,
you.
if I gave you a chia pet of my head for Christmas, would you really be all that upset?
When molested and then I would return it in that order. Because obviously you can't return it first and then do that. That's just absurd. So I would use it briefly and then I would return it. And then I'm gonna be honest, I would definitely contemplate divorce. And I would massage it the same way you massage a chia pet. Like, Ashton, do you think it'd be cool if we'd see other people? And then you'd be like, what the fuck? And then it would be a longer discussion. And then I would have to know if you'd be willing to keep lemon square muffin pie because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, and it would be a
Oh,
whole thing. So
boy.
we could avoid all that if you never give me a fucking chia pet, which I've already told you not to do.
What if
So what the
instead of a
fuck?
chia pet, I gave you a bust of my head?
That is acceptable, and I would keep it. I don't know why you were trying to massage grass with me, but don't do it again. Bust of your head though, I'm definitely taking, and that's happening. Also, still keep lemon square muffin pie, possibly, in case the worst happens, which obviously it won't. We're friends forever, of course. Yeah, lemon square muffin pie will be both of ours forever. How old is it now? How old is it now? Too fucking old.
Why are
But
you calling her it?
well, oh my god, here we go. John, you're disrespecting our child. Listen, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's okay. We had some questions in the chat. One from Caster Sales.
Yeah,
Uh,
Caster Sales asked, uh, "Did you know Trump is threatening military action in Nigeria?"
I actually just saw that on Facebook while we were still in our pop culture section. Um, so that's a good way, I guess, to bring it back. Yeah, he's claiming Christians are being persecuted there, which again, that's code I'm assuming for white people or whatever, possibly.
I
And
mean,
even if they are
it
genuine
really
Christians, like,
is. The
yeah,
whole thing is going to end up just being a front for access to rare minerals.
exactly. It always is. It always is. Um, so yeah, yeah, just imperialism, military industrial complex gonna complex, and the world keeps
It's
on a
giving
spinning
us a complex.
up, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Castro Sales also asked, um, did you watch Thanksgiving?
What does that
No,
mean?
I. d- don't know. I don't know.
I saw that and I was like, "Did you watch Thanksgiving?" And I read it in my head a couple times, and I was really trying to decipher. Is he talking about like, did we watch uh, the celebration of Thanksgiving in Canada earlier this month? Did we watch a movie called Thanksgiving? Like, I really didn't know what he was going for there.
Makes you feel any better? I too don't know what's happening. So
Oh, it doesn't, but thanks.
wow.
Oh, apparently it's a movie from 2023.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Did we watch Thanksgiving from 2023? Apparently, it's a slasher film directed by Eli Roth.
My family's wanted to watch that movie with me, so I might actually watch that movie down the road. I'm gonna have to mention it to them again because my sister was like, John, of course we're watching Christmas movies. There are no Thanksgiving appropriate movies. Stay in your fucking month, Christmas. Wait your fucking turn. Um, but yeah, it's a real problem. We need more Thanksgiving movies, preferably ones where, native people are fucking slaughtering the shit out of colonizers. That would make me pop. I'd watch that movie 50 fucking times.
You're
So,
right, but before you brought that up, that correct take up, I was about to say, isn't just any family movie a Thanksgiving movie?
that is such a wholesome take that, like, you need to understand, I have every urge to shit on it right now, but it's so wholesome and it came from your face that I'm just going to concede. But god damn.
The
God
LA
damn.
Dodgers won the World Series.
Congratulations, I guess?
Congratulations to Shohei Ohtani for the repeat. I love that dude. He's awesome.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool then.
Shohei
Cool.
Ohtani. I don't know. Are you familiar with Ohtani at all?
Very little, because I think baseball sucks, so I don't really
He's
pay any. Yeah.
probably the best hitting pitcher in the history of the MLB.
Nice.
He is a really good pitcher who is an outstanding hitter, which is very rare because throughout the history of baseball, pitchers have historically been like min max. Like they are pitchers first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And if they happen to get an at bat, they hope not to get struck out. You know what I mean?
Nice. I see.
But
All right.
Otani is like a really solid pitcher and an outstanding hitter too. It's rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's from Japan. He's a Japanese guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Japan, I feel like baseball is still kind of a religion over there. Like,
Yeah,
baseball is
it's like a
huge.
national sport practically.
Yeah,
Not literally,
exactly.
their national sport is sumo, but it's up there.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, I think those were all of our questions, and I'll tell you what, let's just do our weekly, like,
High
high
spots
spots, low
and
shots.
low shots. Yeah.
Oh, man. Just keeping it honest. And just to use some good out of it, I'm not saying this vindictively. Low shot has easily got to be everybody not getting their SNAP benefits. So again, findhelp.org and just find a pantry, contribute to it, do what you can. Very easy low shot. A lot of people about to go hungry, and that is not a joke to me. I do not say that as scumbag. I am saying it once again to emphasize a very real national crisis that is unfolding in real time. So that's my low shot. Who is your low shot this week? And we know
Well,
that it's a very broad category. So
you went
yeah,
more sincere, so I'm gonna go a little more cheeky.
yeah.
My low shot is Usha Vance, who is probably going to be getting divorce papers sooner than later so that JD can go with Erica.
The party that respects the institution of marriage, right? But though, gay people, fuck you and your love, right? I hate it here so much.
The thing that's tragic about it is that she is going to never be part of the in group like she wants to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because they are just so fucking warped and so miserable. Um, yeah, I just God, I really can't believe we're doing this. Just this whole like system and everything. But of course,
Do you know what's
this is
crazy too?
yeah,
Is apparently
yeah,
she was a Democratic voter until 2014, which is the year she married Vance. At which point she went independent until 2022 when she registered as a Republican.
yeah,
So
yeah,
she has a history of not being horrible.
yeah. Maybe she could get out of that marriage and I don't know, revert to being a better person. I really like
Sure
I
would be
want to
nice,
believe
right?
yeah. I want to believe people can change, and in redemption and stuff
What
like
would
that,
be
I've always felt had those
amazing
beliefs.
is
But like,
if
yeah,
she saw what was going on between JD and Erica publicly and expected the divorce papers and went along with it and then spilled all the fucking tea.
oh yeah, ruin his life, ruin his
Yes.
life. You could
Ruin
help so many
his
people. Yeah,
chances of ever being president
I mean,
without a Trump death.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, high spot. Okay, I want to try and be sincere for this. Um, I don't want to go to wrestling because, like, that I'm so disconnected from wrestling. I don't even know when I'm going to do like a wrestling high spot or low shot again, to be quite honest.
Same.
Um, yeah, I just
My
really
high
don't know.
spot is Shohei Otani.
There you go. There you go. I like that, bud. That's good shit. My high spot. You know what? You know what? I don't trust him personally because I look at actions, not words. My high spot's gonna be Mamdani
Nice.
because apparently, according to early voting, he is already kicking Cuomo's ass again.
Yeah.
And in spite of all the Islamophobia, in spite of the millions poured into trying to defeat him, people are waking up. They're waking up on their own time, which we all have to do. I have to remember too. And then this is a criticism of myself, right? Because I know that I'm very online and everything else, and I'm trying to change some things. I have to understand it takes time for people to get to a certain place. I used to be a Democrat for a long time. It took a long time for me to be radicalized, like beyond the binary politics that we have. We have to be patient with people, and when they're coming in good faith, then we educate. If they're just coming to rage bait or like whatever and like eat up energy and time, you go and you build your own thing. But I'm giving it to him because even if he's another guy that doesn't live up to his promises or is like, oh, well, my hands are tied, what he's promoting attracts people. I have been saying more lately, I think more people are socialist than they realize. They just don't know it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Because of
people
false
want, yeah,
consciousness.
because of false consciousness. More people are naturally socialists, but socialism is a dirty word. Hell,
Yeah.
I would even go as far as say more people may even be communists than they realize, but it's such a dirty word from
It's
decades of
so
propaganda.
funny. Like, I just want to make clear before I go ahead and say this. I
Yeah,
do not believe in horseshoe theory. I think horseshoe theory is a load of shit. I think the further left you get, the further away from fascism and Nazism you get. But at the same time, there was literally a line in season 2 of The Boys where Stormfront said, people like what I say, they just don't like the word Nazi. And it's exactly that. People like these ideas, they just don't like the words socialism and communism.
exactly. I'm actually glad that you brought that up because that's a terrific point. And so, yeah, I think Zoran's ultimate value to me as a very cynical, very dispirited leftist that has to fight for hope, because in the words of Greta Thunberg, hope is earned. I think symbolically he is showing that people are fed up with far right politics, especially when they realize that their populism is a faux populism and it still serves billionaires even more than your standard fare neoliberalism, which is fucking insane to think about. So yeah, I think Zoran really signals, and I hope it's not too late, and maybe too late's only like a matter of perspective and will. I don't know. But I think he's signaling that things are slowly turning left. How left is anybody's guess, and that's why again I am sus of social democrats because and that's one thing I want to clear up too. Why I always say social democrat, not democratic socialist, because to me, democratic socialist, the socialist in that is that you still believe that the ownership of the means of production should change from being
Oh, I
privately
know
owned to being
AOC
publicly owned.
believes that.
Well, then she might be a
She has
legit Democratic
actually
Socialist then.
like
Yeah.
publicly spoken against capitalism on social media before.
Yeah. She might be a genuine Democratic Socialist. But all the others, I would genuinely consider more social democrats that want to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
FDRism, which,
Bernie is
let me be
definitely like a welfare Democrat.
yeah, which, like, to be fair, that also is superior to what we're living with
Oh my
now. But
god.
yeah,
So it's superior to anything that we've had in the history of this country.
yeah. But like we need just a whole change of the socioeconomic order, and I think people are waking up to that because they're looking around and they're like, wait a minute, I'm paying taxes and this guy doesn't even pay taxes and he's fucking rich as shit for want of nothing, and I have to fight for fucking food now. I have to put loans on fucking groceries when I'm already in medical debt. Like, this whole system is so fucking right. And then you wonder why everybody cheered when Luigi Mangione allegedly capped Brian Thompson. put the and you know what the answer is, and by you I mean the Democratic Party. You know what it is. You're willfully fucking ignorant. You should be ashamed of yourselves. So yeah, my high spot is Zoran, because I really do think it's looking like he is going to be mayor. And even if it's just a symbolic victory, it's symbolic of the fact that people are fed up with oligarchy. They're fed up with far right politics. They're fed up seemingly with what the American project has been more or less since its founding, and they want something new. So yeah, and you already gave your high spot, so we can go home. Thank you guys
Hooray!
so much. You know what? I always say that when I remember that your face exists. So everybody,
Whoa.
leave a like as you file out, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. Um, and that was the TWitWoW weekly recap from the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I really should just start saying the best podcast, but I know that's a far bigger ocean. That's a far bigger universe even. But yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know Sunday football is tomorrow, so I hope there are a lot of good games, including the night game, because I know that's always the big one. So all you football fans, I hope you enjoy it. Everybody else, just I hope you're able to get some rest. I hope you're able to just relax, gather yourselves. I know I'm going to need to. I know there's a long fight ahead of us. We've been in a long fight up to this point. Keep going, keep doing your best, keep giving yourself what you need, keep loving, keep leading with hearts open as best you can. I know it's easier said than done. I'm just asking you to try. God knows I'm trying. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, especially. Tune in. Peace out.